hands, blue gloves warm his hands. Checks his wrist for a watch, but his watch be freckle spots. Shifting to and fro, rocking forth and back, waving at cars that never wave back.
Then fix the tune up, and runs into the road again.
He's a man of the city, reporting for duty. He's always on time to protect the front line. Tips his cap forward to acknowledge the gentry. He's the man in blue, lost in a lost century. He's the man, the man, the man, the man, the man, the man. He's the man, the man, the man, the man, the man, the man.
Have you since this incident had an opportunity to view any of the videos, especially maybe the main video that the bystander took?
In my opinion,
when you learned that Mr. Floyd had died, what'd you think? Did you search that car at all?
I did not.
Did Officer King or Officer Lang take a peek at it in your presence?
I don't. I think they might.
What information did you tell Sergeant Cougar, if any?
I didn't debrief him anything, or I didn't brief him or anything as far as the incident.
Were you present when
he didn't do too much?
Yeah. Is your body camera on this whole time, or do you deactivate it at some point?
I think at that time we were just standing around, so it was deactivated.
You deactivated it?
The scene had already recorded natural, quiet person.
Were you worried about this?
I mean, personally, yeah, I was worried about it. Yeah.
Have you since this incident had an opportunity to view any of the videos, especially maybe the main video that the bystander took?
I'd say I'd forward through some.
You what?
I viewed some, but not in its entirety.
Yeah. I mean, what are your thoughts on that video? Because like you said, you were facing the crowd, so you weren't really paying much attention, but that video is obviously paying a lot of attention on what Officer Chauvin and Mr. Floyd's interaction is, and I'm curious what your thoughts on that are.
Can I ask a question while you're asking what the thoughts are? We don't normally put thoughts down in police reports, you give them in summaries.
Well, he's a human being. I'm just curious what his
I understand that,
opinion
but he's
is
here
on
to give a voluntary statement about what happened, not necessarily what his thoughts are.
Okay. You don't want to answer that question? Is that what you're saying?
I'm advising.
Yeah, okay. I'll take his advice.
Right.
People, you know.
So did you suspect that something bad was happening there at the scene when the paramedics came?
I realized that this might have been a big incident when the fire department showed up, and they're here to help the ambulance.
Okay.
And generally, when they show up, the ambulance needs help with whatever medical procedures, like CPR or something.
I understand. So when the ambulance left and then the fire department showed up asking where the ambulance was,
yep,
you put two and two together that this was a more significant call than maybe what you thought. Is that accurate or not accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody come from fire? What are you guys here for?
Said, the EMS code 20 or something.
We just EMS though. Like,
That's us.
just need to transport someone high or something.
Yeah, murderers, bro. Yeah, murderers.
Okay. I don't think it's related.
I think this car, when I got here, the doors were open, so they're both up. I don't know. So, is he on his attendance?
No, I think they're done.
Are you still red?
What's that?
Still red?
Yeah, I'm still there. Since that group over is being hostile. Yeah.
If you would let MFD know that EMS needs, the fire needs to go to Park at 36, your patient is a full arrest now.
So it's like 36?
I guess they need you guys at Park at 36.
Can you advise
Park
the
at
fire
36.
department if they're still with you, they need to go to 36 in Park?
They need you guys at Park at 36.
Park at 36?
Yeah.
Did you successfully complete your FTO training, or did you have to get kind of extra training, or
I did extra training.
like an extension? I think they call it.
Correct.
Okay. And how long of an extension was it?
I don't recall offhand. Maybe like a month or less.
Okay.
When someone dies, it's affect my family and kind of taking it'd be fair to say it's taking a mental toll.
Have you been in a critical incident prior to this?
No.
Mind if I ask you some follow-up questions? Okay. Earlier in the interview, you mentioned that your training was extended a month. Was that in the academy, or was that an FTO process?
Field training.
The field training. While you were in the academy, did you have any deficiencies in any of your training?
It's like 10 years ago. I suppose you could find. I don't really recall too much. I guess there's probably some as a new officer would be a lot of deficiency. I guess.
Okay. All right, so a lot of deficiencies.
To be critical of myself as far as training.
Was there any,
Go ahead.
Was there anything that held you back in the academy?
I guess when I guess it's natural for recruits to, and probably true for me as well, as decision making.
Okay, so there was special attention to your decision making while you were in the academy. Is that accurate?
Yep, but you kind of deciding what you're going to do on the call.
Okay. Okay. in the FTO process. And that was extended a month, correct?
Yep.
What were the reasons for the extension?
I'm trying to remember here. I think it was like got into maybe I might have been like officer safety. I don't recall off the top of my head exactly what. I think it might have been a few things.
A few things.
Yeah.
Do you recall any of those?
I'm trying to think. I think it's kind of more officer safety decision making. I think it was.
So officer safety and decision making.
Great.
Did
Okay.
Mr. Floyd, based on your observations, struggle the entire time he was on the ground?
Yes. From the time I've seen. Pushing me, so that to me that's kind of escalating the act a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So then the decision's made to have EMS come step it up to code 3?
Yeah, at some point I asked chronology, I don't recall exactly where it's at, but I do remember asking Lane if they have ambulance coming and what code, and told me it was 2, and then I wanted to hear code 3 because the environment that was occurring in the hostile crowd. And
okay, did the code 3 response have anything to do with Mr. Floyd's change in disposition?
I don't recall. I guess the events of when I believe when I was talking to Lane, I believe that Floyd was still alive and talking.
Did you observe though?
Lane, I believe that Floyd was still alive.
Blue gloves warm his hands, checks his wrist for a watch, but his watch be freckle spots, shifting to and fro, rocking forth and back, waving at cars that never wave back.
He's not responsive right now, bro. No, bro, look at him. He's not responsive right now, bro.
He's a man of the city, reporting for duty. He's always on time to protect the front line. Tips his cap forward to acknowledge the gentry. He's the man in blue, lost in a lost century. He's the man, the man, the man, the man, the man, the man. He's the man, the man, the man, the man, the man, the man.
Ja, så kan det, man.
Sweet, man. Let's go.